I don't think that everybody needs a personal brand. I don't think you should let Gary Vee bully you, because Gary Vee will just make you feel like shit, you know, if you're not in front of the camera. I do think that you could just reallocate all that energy into just building a really good business.
Call centers to me, like the word shady comes up. Never leave you the hell alone.
People buy from who they like and who they trust.
I want to be visible to my children, not just to my company. They don't care that my company's making millions. They want mom at the end of the day.
Peter Roth built businesses. He's owned cigar distributorships. He's distributed cigars all around the world.
He's the quiet force behind some of the most aggressive call center growth in the home services space. As the head of growth at Scalify, he's helping top HVAC companies, roofing companies, solar companies, a lot more home service kind of companies.
I lost almost $250,000 trying it out on my own, shut it down twice, and then just kept coming back to it because I'm like, I can figure this out. Like, I have to be able to figure this out. I didn't make it this far just to quit.
I feel like your visibility can also be bought. People can buy the followers. People can buy the media. People can buy the brand and act like I know what I'm doing and then scam people. How do you find that you can find those brands? Welcome to Visibility, Peter Roth. Glad to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Yeah. So, like, let's talk about where the heck did you come from? How did you become visible?
Oh, God. I owned a bar for a long time. And so, like, you kind of can't help but sort of being a little bit in the public eye.
Right.
You know, when you kind of own a trendy, sort of like a martini lounge sort of a thing. I did that for like 15 years. And at the same time, I was also in the cigar business. Like, this is weird. Like, I have a weird, like, it's odd, you know? So, like, when I graduated college, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. Like, I tried to go get a job on Wall Street, and no one wanted to hire me because I had no official, like, I wasn't remotely qualified.
Lawnmower. Can I come work for you?
Was not remotely qualified to do that sort of a thing. So they all said no. And then I got into the cigar business just because that's, like, the thing that I loved doing. And I don't barely even smoke cigars anymore now. And then that kind of parlayed itself into a bigger cigar business. And then that parlayed itself into a really high-end cigar bar / martini lounge. Did that for like 15 years.
That sounds fun.
And then I got sued a couple times by my landlord. That's not so fun. And as a result of that, because they thought that my cigar smoke was like seeping into my neighbors' spaces. And so I got forced into becoming an HVAC expert by accident because of these lawsuits.
That's how the HVAC
That's how the HVAC thing happened. I didn't even know how to turn my own fucking thermostat up. Can I curse on this show?
Yeah, you can totally
I curse a lot. Okay. So I had to I didn't even know how to turn my own thermostat up or down at the time. So like I became friends with this guy who was kind of helping me with my own HVAC at the bar. He's like, hey, your bar kind of runs itself. Like, you're barely even here. Like, what, you want to start an HVAC company? He's like, I'm really good at that thing, but I don't really know much about sales and marketing. It's like, why don't you do that? I'll do this and we'll build something. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So that's how I got into that. And then we sold that business a few years later. And then I got into solar. God bless my soul. That was weird. And then while in solar, I realized I had to provide leads to all of my sales reps. And so that's how I really got into it, because, like, you know, providing leads to sales reps, as you know, being a business owner, that's a real challenge, especially if you're starting from nothing.
Right.
Like totally nothing. And I really wanted to build like a big team of sales. At one point I had it up to 130 salespeople.
Yep.
So I needed to provide them leads. And so you have to get good at a lot of different strategies. Like, you can't just sit there and rely on referrals and friends and family. Like, that's not going to get anywhere. So I did all the usual shit. You know, I did all the standard digital marketing stuff. And they're all fine to some extent. But the call center thing just was a total accident. Like, I didn't build a call center because I knew what I was doing, because I didn't. We just hired a cold caller. And then she started cold calling, and it started working. And then so we hired another, and then another, and we just kind of got better over time. Like, made a ton of mistakes, lost a ton of money until I didn't. You know, I lost almost $250,000.
Wow. Trying
it out on my own, shut it down twice, and then just kept coming back to it because I'm like, I can figure this shit out. Like, I have to be able to figure this out. Like, what's that old line? I didn't come this far just to come this far.
Right.
That's what kept ringing through my brain. I didn't come this far just to come this far.
Right.
I didn't make it this far just to quit and throw in the towel now. It's like, I'm right on the edge. Like, I'm right here. Like, I can do this. And so that's finally, on the third go around, is when something finally clicked. It took forever.
And then that turned into the company now.
Scalify
Call centers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I love that. We talk a lot on the show about, you know, showing up and making sure that we don't quit. And so, I mean, despite all of the craziness that we go through and the obstacles.
You know, people like, sorry to interrupt you, but people like look at entrepreneurs, I think, sometimes like in an idyllic way. And I always like joke. I'm like, I think we have like brain defects, brain damage.
We seriously.
Please don't look up to us. We're fucking morons, I think, for a large part.
Half of the time.
Because first of all, most of us don't make it.
Yep.
Let's be honest. A very small percentage of us actually become successful. The rest of us are just the brain damage type, right? Who couldn't crack it, which was almost me and almost you and almost everybody else successful that we know. But none of us do, but not all of us will make it. That's just a sad reality of life. Like, you do have to be in the right place at the right time. That is a reality for most successful business. Most of them will admit, like, yeah, I kind of was at the right place at the right time. Like, no, I get it. You have to be around a lot. Like, even Hormozy says, he's like, luck ain't shit. Like, you just got to do the same thing for a long period of time and luck will find you. Right? And I get that. I agree. But like, you do have to have stuck. You have to have made it, you know, up until a certain period of time. And some people will get washed out. So it's like, my heart goes out. Like, we are idiots.
Yeah, I always say if you're not a true entrepreneur, if you don't wake up in the middle of the night and realize, what the hell am I doing? This is bullshit. I want to be done.
Yeah.
I quit. And then you wake up the next day and you get back on the horse and you're like, let's go.
Yeah, because the alternative is even scarier.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I the other day, I have 4 kids, and my daughters, my 2 oldest daughters said, we want to have a meeting with you. And that's never a good sign. I'm like, oh gosh.
Intervention
like,
from your own
we're
kid.
We're having an intervention with my kids. Like, we had a conversation, and we are having a hard time with you being on calls when we get home from school.
Well, that's really cool of them, first of all, to actually approach you with that.
It was very mature
That's
of them. And
mature,
I said, you know, I hear you. I totally hear you. And I actually, usually my assistant knows not to schedule calls after 3 p.m. because I don't like to be on calls when my kids get home from school. That's a you know, a values thing for me, is I want to be visible to my children, not just to my company. I want to be visible to my kids when they come home from school. But, you know, there were a couple meetings in that week, and that's what they remembered. So I had to remember that. I was like, okay, they don't care that my company's making million. They want mom at the end of the day, right? I'm a single mom. So, like, I want to be visible to them. So I was like, okay. So I had to, like, address that. But I'm like, listen, kids, like, I've been an entrepreneur their whole life. I've been an entrepreneur for 21 years. Like, I've been doing this a long time. They've never seen me go to work. Ever. And I'm like, the alternative to this is me being at a job and I cannot leave until 5 or 6 at night. I just want to put that in perspective for you guys. Sometimes I'm running a company. Sometimes I have to take calls. And you guys just have to accept that sometimes.
No, I think it's a good thing.
You know what I mean?
I think no matter how you slice that apple, it's a really good thing because that message, what they are, you know, there's some people, okay, I get the notion that, like, that saying that, like, your kids aren't going to remember how many hours you put in. They're only going to remember they never saw you. Yes, I do understand that. I get it. But the other thing that they are going to recognize is the diligence and the hustle and the effort and the refusal to the refusal to give up. That's the other message that you're sending through to them, that life ain't easy, dude. Like, it's gonna suck for a while until it doesn't.
Exactly.
And so, like, if you think that it's just gonna, like, magically happen for you because, you know, also I think Hormozy was like, I'm gonna butcher the line, but he's like, if you think you can have, like, a fair and balanced life between family life and work life, then you're not good at either one.
Yeah.
You're failing at both.
Exactly. I always say this balance. When I'm, you know, I do a lot of speaking, and when I speak on stage, I always say it this way: is that life is just a whole bunch of balls that we're juggling, and some balls are glass and some are plastic. And my job is to identify which ones are glass and which ones are plastic. Now, the plastic ones can fall and drop and roll under the couch, and I don't know where they are. It doesn't really matter because they don't break. The glass ones are the important ones, right? The ones that will break and shatter, and if I drop them, they are catastrophic, you know? So, you know, things like my health, my relationship with my children, you know, my relationship with my family, those types of things, my relationship with my employees, making sure my clients are happy, like those types of things are those glass balls. But then, you know, my house being spotless all the time, having a home cooked meal every night, you know, and there's things, you know, that just don't matter at the end of the day, like that can get dropped and they're plastic balls and they could just roll under the couch and I don't even, you know. So my role, and they shift. Sometimes this glass ball becomes plastic and the glass, you know, they can go back and forth. My role is just don't drop the glass balls. And some days it's like one thing, like I just have to get through the day and not drop this one ball. but I'm always juggling something. And it's okay. And sometimes I just suck at other things, and sometimes I'm really good and I'm juggling 15 glass balls and I'm like, great job, Lauren. But, I always share that with my kids. Like, I'm juggling like literally 100 things at any given moment. In my head, you might not see it, but I'm doing the best I can, and I will show up for you and be visible to you. It might not be all the time that you want, but the reason why we have these things is because I've done this. And, we don't talk about the visibility of showing up for our family very much as well, but that is important to me as a single mom, that I want to show up for my kids and be visible to them. But, I can do that because I've built the online visibility to grow the company in a way that I can step away and not be working 100 hours a week like I used to.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
So, well, let's go back to the call center thing.
Sure.
Call centers, to me, like, the word shady comes up.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm curious. I'm curious why.
You probably get that.
No, for sure. But I am curious why, because I get it, but I'm curious why.
Because
why
they never leave you the hell alone.
Oh, okay.
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 So, and I bring this up because you do a great job at it, right? I don't think shady when I think about you.
Okay.
And
my wife would disagree, but okay.
I think about that as I don't think shady when I think about you. And I think your visibility is probably a big reason for that. Is the way that you show up online is probably a big reason why I don't think that about you.
Because if you're shady, you can't show up online.
Exactly.
Because you're always ducking from people.
Exactly. So let's talk about your strategy of showing up. Like, talk to me a little bit about, like, starting a call center, because I'm sure I'm not the first person that's told you that.
No, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So starting a call center and how you decided to strategize showing up online the way that you've had.
So I prioritize my reputation over literally fucking everything. Mm-hmm. I prioritize it over my business. Okay. I prioritize it over friendships. I prioritize it over everything. To me, it's like if my reputation is shot, I can make more money. Mm-hmm. I can't buy back my reputation.
Yeah. And
I've had mistakes. I mean, I've had things. I had something happen 2 months ago, which damaged it wasn't my fault, but I had something that happened 2 months ago, which did hurt my reputation because it affected some clients. That I lost fucking sleep over that shit because like it hurt me in front of some very important people that, and just in front of people in general that I cherish. Mm-hmm. And so that hurt me. That cut more deep than just about anything else you could do. Like, if you want to hurt me, just drag my name through the mud. Make some shit up and drag my name through the mud. That'll hurt me more than absolutely anything. Mm-hmm. I don't care about money. I don't care about anything else. So with that said, like I guard my reputation more than anything else. And so as a result of that, I'm perfectly fine being on camera. I'm perfectly fine being in front of the general public, like, because I have nothing to hide, right? I'm not running away from anything. And so rule number one is build a business on the backbone of something honest, and then you won't have anything to worry about.
I love that. And that goes into like core values too.
Sure.
Right, of what those core values
are. So we don't do the shady shit. Because I know I get one fucking company that keeps calling me like, you've been approved for business funding.
Yeah.
I get this fucking call 30 times a day. Mm-hmm. I cannot get them to go away.
Yeah.
I've told them to stop calling me. I've told them to put me on their do not call list. I've done a million. They don't care. They're not calling from the U.S. They're calling from some other country. Mm-hmm. So they're not honoring DNC scrub. They're not honoring any of these laws that we do because we're based in the U.S. So I actually honor the laws. I can't get this company. I get voice. I have to, like, my voicemail thing we talked about. My voicemail just keeps filling up with like, you've been approved for your business funding. Approved. I'm like,
yep.
Oh my God. Like, why are like, and they're wasting their money because it's costing them money to call me. It's not free. It's costing them money to leave voicemails. So like, they're obviously terrible at what they do because they're throwing their money down the drain. Like, if someone is not responding and someone's never picked up your call after like 10 attempts, you stop calling them.
Right.
Period. And that's what we do. Like, if someone doesn't pick up after 10 calls, like, we just don't call them anymore. That's it. We move on. Right. Yeah. So that's not that hard to do this thing, like, ethically.
I love that because I think that it shows, like, when you tell somebody what you do, I mean, even going to networking events, it used to be like, give me your business card. Now it's, I pull up everybody's Instagram and I follow them right then. And then I message them. Mm-hmm. That's like the new business card, right?
Yep.
That's how, even if I share a contact, I will lose that contact. The only way I will remember, and this is kind of a trick that I learned from my friend Maha Abulanain, who runs communications for Gary Vee. She taught me, and I always teach other people this now in networking, is when you meet somebody, get their cell phone number, take a selfie, text it to them. And then you have that face-to-face connection.
I like that.
And then you're like, okay, now I remember who this person is.
I like that so much.
And then you both remember.
But
right?
have you ever met somebody who's got a really forgettable face?
Yeah.
Like you look at them, you're like, I already forgot what I'm looking right at you.
And
I already forgot what you look like.
Yes. Yeah. And
Sorry if you have one of those.
I'm really bad with names.
Well, everybody is. You're not.
So many people.
Have you ever met someone who's like, I'm fucking awesome at names? No. I've never met it. Come on. Have you ever in your life met someone who's like, really? I'm excellent at names.
You know what? I actually do. I worked with an NFL agent, Ben Dogera, and he could remember everybody, every name,
So he's a sociopath.
He's brilliant. He remembered every NFL draft and every player that had been chosen and what round they went on and what team they went on, and he was like a savant.
Maybe that's why he was in the position that he was in.
Very brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very brilliant. So, but talk to me a little bit about, everybody's obsessed with inbound right now. And I think outbound leads, when we're talking about, because there's that shady element of like outbound leads, right? Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit about what you do with outbound leads and how that is helping you with your company and with the companies that you're working for.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, inbound is great. Mm-hmm. I think people make mistakes with both.
Yeah.
Right. People are just bad with following up with leads.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone just sucks. Call the lead. Right. Like everyone call the damn leads. No one calls the damn leads. Right. So inbound, having an inbound call center, which we don't do. That's not my thing. Mm-hmm. That's not my specialty. My specialty is getting you new leads.
Okay.
Right. That's what outbound is going to get you a whole fresh book, a whole fresh pipeline of all new stuff. But then what? Mm-hmm. Right? Like we'll bring them in, but now you have to either sell the deal, which you probably won't because most people don't say yes.
Yep.
Right. So you'll sell a small percentage of them. Now, what do you do with the other 75%? Right. And that's where inbound is really important because now they have to handle all that stuff. Right.
Yep.
They have to have the inbound calls. They have to handle the existing pipeline. They have to handle the people that said, I want to think about it. The people that said, I got to talk to my wife and my attorney and my pastor and this and that.
My cat.
Right. My cat. Yeah, exactly. So inbound is super important, and most people fail at that, and they're terrible at it. Most people don't even have an answering service, for God's sakes.
Yep.
It's terrible. Like, most small business owners, I specialize in home services, and they're like the worst at it. Mm-hmm. I had my own HVAC system break down. It was like a month ago, or 2 months ago, and I had to call an HVAC company. Mm-hmm. It was the most harrowing experience because I used to own an HVAC company, right? So it's like I have this very high expectation of what an HVAC company should, the level that they should be operating at. I called like 5 different companies. I knew this was going to happen. I probably called like 10 companies. The first 3, just no answer. Mm-hmm. Not even a voicemail. It was just ring, 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 ring. A couple of them went to just like some dude's voicemail. Like, okay.
Like a cell phone number.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, but my shit's broken now.
Yeah.
Like, I need someone now. I'm not shopping around for next week. Like, my shit's broken now. I need someone in my house tomorrow, not next week. I'm not going to call you back. Like, it's just most likely the first person that picks up the phone and is actually not a dick is probably going to win my business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's true for like a lot of businesses. Mm-hmm. Like, just pick up the damn phone, have an answering service, right? A professional one. So like I said, most of them didn't pick up the phone. Most of them went to voicemail. Some that did pick up the phone were really just unprofessional and they were just kind of weird and they didn't have anything available for me. And then I finally got booked with one. I went online and I booked with one online and I got the confirmation that it was booked. And then the day of the appointment shows up and like no one shows up to my house. So I call them and they're like, all right, yeah, we see your name in the system, but we don't have any record of the appointment. I'm like, so your shit is so broken that you obviously have record that I did something. You obviously have my name, but you have no record of the actual, like, how much of a failure can you possibly be? Or like you got this far into the process of setting up your appointment notifications and then just fell off. Did you not test this shit?
It brings up a good point.
Like how do these companies even stay in business? Like I don't even get it. Like how are you still in business? Like
so how do they get? So it brings up a good point that